Everybody, so today we are going to talk another technique. So tension band wiring is one of the very day-to-day practice. Orderly surgeon they used to use it, but we are supposed to know the basic principle of it. So before going for the subject proper, as before, we have to start with some philosophy. Philosophy is there. Kudhatmanati sanmoha sanmohatsat smiti vibhram Smiti Bhamsat Buddhinasa, Buddhinasat Padatsati. What is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is the truth. The anger is all the source of the destruction. Anger leads to your affinity. Affinity leads to your loss of memory. Loss of memory leads to your loss of intelligence. Loss of intelligence means loss of judgment. But that leads to your destruction. So most of the time in the world, the cause of a destruction is the anger. So anger is no good, try to control it. So today's lesson is this. So we will talk about the tension band wiring today. Tension band wiring is one of the most commonly practiced orthopedic technique. Yes or no? But many times it is very easy to see that what is the problem? Fluid passing through the fluid and tightening what? This is a technical problem, technical thing only. But this technology actually is based upon some principle that we have to understand. I used to give an example like that. A person, small boy, used to work in a garage. Sometimes they are so expert that their technical knowledge is sometimes more than that of an automobile engineer. Yes or no? He can sometimes pick up the defect so easily that sometimes the automobile engineer cannot do it. Yes or no? This is a true fact. It's happened. But this automobile engineer is actually based on principle, and his knowledge is a technocrat. So you cannot compare these both these two. Yes. So our is that if your court also seeing for a long time in the operation theater, they can also do this operation. Yes or no? Pin, wire, touch. Okay, fine. This is altogether a mechanical job. But in the mechanical job, sometimes principles are like that. That is why you need to understand. Why you all need to do all this tension band wiring or other tension band concept is that the tensile surface is the area where there is your deforming force is working. What is the meaning? Meaning most of the time you will find all the deforming force. That means for fracture union you need a stability. Yes or no? This stability is being disturbed by some deforming force, rotational, translational, upward displacement, whatever it might be. But this is basically working where? It is basically tensile surface. So most of the time while you are going for any implant fixation, in which surface you apply? Is it tensile surface or a convex surface, concave surface? Tensile. This is basically to counteract. Same principle is applicable here. Though we are going to talk the tension band wiring principle here on pin and coil, but same principle is applicable to other cases also. Like your application of plate, particularly BSS is also a type of your tension band wiring. One. Number two, that your plate fixation, suppose in subtrochlear area where the convexity is there, so you apply the plate in the concave surface or convex surface. Where? Lateral side or middle side? Lateral side. Why? To counteract the deforming force. That is also tension band wiring. Tension band principle is applied here. Yes, so many principles. But today our talk is basically on polycannon, and I want to show you how exactly you are supposed to do it. What principle is there? How we are supposed to go ahead with the tension. As such, what are defined as the tension band wiring? A tension band principle? Anybody? There are two. One is called static, another is called dynamic. So dynamic means that this dynamic force means moments leads to your compressions at the concave surface. What is the meaning? That means there are two types. One is called static, another is called dynamic. Static, where there is no movement. Example, can anybody give me example? Tension band wiring applied in medial malleolus. Yes or no? There your movement is not there. This moment supposed to be in the perpendicular axis of the flexor to exert the deforming force to the compression force. Do you understand? So to have this dynamic effect, you are supposed to have perpendicular flexure line to the moment of axis. Then this force, distracting force, will be converted to compressing force. This is being applied in a case of your elbow flexor, your ligament flexor, or in case of your patella flexor, where this movement altogether helps in compression and concave surface. Are you getting my point? But this dynamism is not applicable for flexor in medial malleolus, where you do not have this movement like this to exert the compression here. Are you getting my point? So there are two. Now, next point is that to adhere to this principle, what are the prerequisites? Can anybody tell me any prerequisite? What prerequisite you need to fulfill? The prerequisite you must fulfill for tension bend principle is integrity of the concave surface. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Are you getting my point or no? So, supposing if you want to go tension bend hearing and dynamism is applicable, then your integrity of the concave surface is a must. It's a must. So you must have a good contact between the surfaces of the flexure surface in the concave surface. Otherwise, you cannot have this principle of your tension bending dynamism. This is clear to you? So certain prerequisite to be fulfilled before applying this tension bend principle here. So integrity of the concave surface is a must. That means in this case, suppose if you are to consider the olecranon fracture, so you do not have a comminution fractures in the concave surface. Otherwise, you cannot have a tension bend dynamic tension bend principle here. Get my point? Same thing applicable for the fracture patella also. So here also, to actually exert the dynamic compression by tension bend principle is only possible while there is the integrity of the articular surface of the patella. Yes, it is clear. In certain cases, can you give me some example where the tension bend pin and coil particularly? As I said, plate is also a type of tension bend. Can you give me an example where this principle can be applied, technique can be applied? Medial malleolus we discussed, even lateral malleolus also discussed. We can also apply your lateral tuberous deflection there, your humerus. This is also can be applied for your lateral trochanter flexors in the femur. Can be applied in the base of the flexor of your metatarsals also sometimes. So that you can go for. Sometimes lateral end of the clavicle also, tension bend principle. This your pin and coil can be applied. So these are the uses. And you also know that there are two types. One is dynamic, one is static. And for dynamic also I told you what are the things you have to fulfill before doing so. Okay, sir? So this is your principle, this is your requirement. Then we will talk today the technique of application of tension bend in case of olecranon fracture. Supposing there is a fracture here. Supposing there is a fracture in this area. So what is the procedure like? Procedure like that this fracture is open. Yes or no? This is open. You have to clean. You have to reduce it. That part is basic. Now this reduction which you have achieved here should be maintained that there is still in here. Yes or no? That is a basic thing we want to do. We want to do the fixation for what? We want to maintain this reduction till there is in here. Yes or no? And what is the stability here? Can you give what is it? Relative stability or rigid stability? It is rigid or rigid fixation? It is rigid or relative? It is rigid fixation. Fixation is it because you do not have any more possibility of movement here, and that possibility which is sometimes there is being counteracted by application of the care. Yes. Is sometimes even tension bend here by pin and coil. The wire is more important than the pin. The wire is actually doing your job, principle. Why then pin is applied? Pin is applied to avoid these translations of the movement. You do not want any undue movement there. And if you are applying this pin also there, essentially it is become a rigid type of fixation. So it is a rigid type of fixation, it is not a relative fixation. Yes, and while you are applying this dynamic principle layer to movement, then also you are exerting more compressions at the concave surface. This part is clear, yes or no? Now we will go for technical point of view. Now here, what technical point of view, that you need to do open induction, that is okay, that we will not talk, we will talk to the technical point. Number one is that you need to pass the wire. Now what is the size of the wire? What is the size of the wire?
18 or 20.
1.5, 1.8 usually. Bigger 1.8 most of the time. Size of the K wire. What is the size of the coil? Usually 1.5. Yes, enough. Sometimes we variable, but basically 1.5 is enough. There are two requirements. This what I am talking actually requirements. One is pin, another is coil. What is next? Is a drill bit. Why do you need a drill bit? To make the hole. Where is the hole you have to prepare? Here in this case, 10 mm. Where you will go? 4 cm. Supposing this is a fracture here, then where you make the hole? How far? It is around 2 to 3 cm below the fracture line. One point. Now, how much depth from this surface? How much depth? It is almost 1 mm, 1 mm or 1.5 mm. Are you getting my point? 2 mm is enough. So you make a hole here. How far? 2 to 3 cm. Yes. Then you also make a transverse hole. Now, whether the K wire you are going to fix here first or the hole you are going to make. You are going to make the hole first. Why? Because this K wire if you pass before, it may come in between this drill. Getting my point? ठीक है sir. We are talking relative. I am talking in context to the collicular fracture. This is commonly used. That is why I am same principle is applicable everywhere. So you have to understand what we are going to do here. So one is the fracture is being reduced. After cleaning up everything, you have reduced it. It is an interarticular fracture actually. In other words, you have to go for tension minimizing. What are the things you need? I told you, one is K wire, one is oil, then plier and other instruments are always there. You need a drill bit. Drill bit is supposed to be smaller one. Do not make a big drill bit because big drill bit means bigger hole, it is cut through is more important. So do not go for very big drill bit, there is no point. Smaller drill bit is enough, 2 mm diameter is enough. Something even more, less than that. Where 2 to 3 cm below the fracture line. How far from the 1.5 millimeter or 2 millimeter from here, from the cortex. Make a hole transversely from here. Pass the wire beforehand. That means if you are doing drilling here, then you pass the wire here. Yes, you can do it also. You can do it now. Pass the hole here. After passing, you must pass the K wire. Now, what is the principal application of the K wire? Can anybody tell me? K wire principle in case of tension band wiring should be parallel to each other. You should not go for crossing. You should not push your wires should be parallel to each other. This is parallel to each other. Parallel to each other, not crossing each other. You do not want to cross it. If you are crossing it, you may not get this your principle. Okay, sir? That means it's supposed to go. In which direction is supposed to go? It's supposed to go to the anterior cortex. That means you need to pass the pin somewhat from the dorsal side more superficially, and your direction supposed to go like this. Direction supposed to go like this to pierce the anterior cortex. Now how much? Just it is pierced. Now while doing two things, see, okay, now technically while you are passing the pin here, should you pass the pin opposite cortex while doing drilling, or you should not do it? What is your opinion? Technically, which is more easy to do? one should actually, for technical point of view, one should pass the pin through the anterior cortex. Then do a little bit of withdrawing. Why I am saying so? This is actually basically while if you are not piercing the cortex there, and a part is being bent here finally, yes or no, and you want to hammer it back inside. So while doing the hammering, sometimes they are very bending here. Yes or no? It is just like you are putting a nail with a hammer into a wood which is very strong. Got my point? Sometimes this nail is going straight, sometimes it bends, it is unable to put it. Is happen? Same thing may happen here also. If the bone is very tight, and you finally, if you are not pierced this piece and wait and you do this is ultimately you hammer the bend inside. You cannot multiple. How much inside? This is like is supposed to be a staple term. You know stapling? This is just like a staple. So if you are going in, it's supposed to go in. Now you should do a little bit of withdrawal. Then you do the cutting and other thing, then bending, and finally while you are resting, it will be more easy to pierce it, rather than if you have not done it before the pilot, probably it will make you additional bend here, which you do not want. Clear point? This is also technical simple thing. Now question arises, while I am passing the pin here, then there is a doubt in my mind also. Have I crossed this through the articular surface or no? Yes or no? This point must be there in your mind. This point must be there in your mind. So in this case, C-arm is going to help you. Incidentally, this C-arm is not functioning. Then what next? What next? The simple technique I can tell you that after passing the two wires there, you can also open it up again and see inside whether you are happy with the position or not. It's a simple technique, yes or no? To be more careful that you have not pierced the articular surface there, because it is convex, you are piercing this. There is a possibility if your angulation is not perfect, and you can also take the help of C-arm. But without C-arm, can you do? Yes, we can. We can have the feeling. You can, while you are going to the anterior cortex, you will feeling that his resistance is lost. Then it is going smoothly. Then you know that you have pierced the anterior cortex. Then we have to stop it there. Yes. We have passed the two pins there, one pin here, another pin here. But while doing so, there is a possibility that you might be going through the articular cartilage. In this situation, you can open it up, see inside, and make sure that your pins are not intra-articular. You are not damaging the articular surface. Yes. Otherwise, you can take the help of the C-arm also. Yes or no? That is okay, fine. Then your next point is your where you have to make a loop of your 8, figure of 8. So which side you want to have this knot? Medially or laterally? Laterally, because you do not want this nerve to be there. Because you medially you do have this ulnar nerve, so this band ultimately should not be there in the medial side, so every possibility is there that it may cause some sort of injury to the nerve. One point. Number two, there are two techniques there. One is called double knot technique, another is called single knot technique. Double knot is that if you want to have another loop here in the other side, you can do it. Then you can do the simultaneous technique that will lead to exertion of tremendous compression here. Yes, you can do it. That is one technique. Another technique is most of the time soft bone. One can do the tightening here also. That loop tightening is mostly done in the lateral side. Now this part is clear. Do you have anything to ask about this? This technical part is very simple. Now I want to show you two technical things in the tightening also. Supposing if you are looking in loop like this, while making the loop there, tightening part. This is final tightening I am talking. There are one more piece continuation. So this is your thing. Ultimately, supposing the loop is there. There are two things here. One, see, if you are making a loop like this, loop like this, there are two ways of doing this tightening. One, sometimes it happens that this is very tight and this is loose. So while you are rotating, it will find it will rotating on this. This is remaining static, it will rotate like this. Yes or no? It is just like a coiling. Coil. Are you happy with this tightening? No. Yes. Now, what is most important? The tightening. This is also important thing. See, it is tightening is there. That this part is actually remaining static and it is not at the same. The loop can move. It can move. Yes or no? It can move. This is coiling up, remaining on the axis of this. But this is not ideal tightening. Your tightening is supposed to have pulling effect equally in both the ends of the wire, so that you must make a loop which is actually helical one. This is called helical tightening. Helical. Yes, the helical. Helical there is no your chance of your slipping. So even see, wire tightening is also an art. How you are tightening it? Two things. One, this happens mainly while you are pulling the wire and you do the rotation. If the one wire is very much pull, another is lax, then what happens? This tight one will remain static, other one will coil around it. This is coiling up. Finally, you will find this tight knot is not ideal. This is actually slippery. So this is not an ideal situation. Ideal situation, then you must have a helical sort of tightening. Helical. Yes? So this is also important. That you must also have this idea. You must. That is why the bone level is important for you. You develop the habit. The tightening also important, so that exerts equal compressions at this flexor side. Otherwise, this will be a coiling up, not tightening, but your tightening should be helical one to have a good tightening of this area. Simple thing, but important. Simple, but this is applicable not only for hair, but while you are doing encircless wearing also anywhere. There also tightening is supposed to be a helical one, not a spiral one. Spiral coiling. No, this is not ideal situation. So that is their basic technique. Your basic part is over. Actually, how we are going to put, what is the size of the wire, what is size of the K wire, stainless steel, deal with, how to do the drilling, how far from the flexor side, and how much depth, and how to make the tightening, and how to do the hammering. Hammering should be there. Now while you are passing here, also it is important that while you are passing the wire from each side to another, then your wire should be, it should go, supposing like this, it should go how? It should go like your throw it beneath this tendon, not above the tendon. For this, one can take the help of a big bore needle also. So the needle is being put there, so you can push the end of there, and you can take it out, then you are tightening. Are you getting my point? Not on the tendon, but beneath the tendon, so that tightening is there. That is one. Loop should be on lateral side. And also important, that is end of the bend should anchor this. We have to reverse it. Push it in such a way just like it is holding like a staple. Staple marta hai na? Same thing, staple. So it should hold well like this. So you should go anchors here. So then if the fixation is good, you can give the moment next day. Then you will have this here. There is no point applying a plaster and other things there. Rather, you encourage the person to do the exercises so as to have more benefit on the flexor side, particularly on the concave surface integrity. So technically this thing is clear. So anything to be asked, anything to be discussed further. Titimani, do you have anything to ask? How go? You are happy? So this is simple thing, but simple thing also make lot of means. So that is why you are supposed to understand the basic principle and technique also, how to do it. The integrity is important. Integrity and concave surface is important. ठीक है, क्लोज कर दे। तो इसके मैंने